All right. This should be coming out Monday morning, the day before Oscar nominations come out. I'm filming this on Wednesday, the 17th at night. I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend, so I need to get these predictions in this video made beforehand. We're going to be predicting most of the categories here for the Oscars. I might even go through all of them just on Gold Derby here. I did this with the winner picks for the Golden Globes, and I received decently, words, but I'm gonna go through all the different categories who I think is gonna get nominated and kind of give my reasons why, and we'll see how correct I am when I react to the nominations on Tuesday morning when they come out, the 23rd of January. So we're gonna start off top here with Best Picture. Looking at Gold Derby, I think I'm gonna put the ones that I know for sure that are gonna be there. Oppenheimer number one, Killers number two, Barbie, Poor Things, The Holdovers, American Fiction. I would say these six are pretty much locks. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna think Anatomy of a Fall. I think it has a lot of momentum in foreign categories. I think it has a chance here. I also think Maestro and Past Lives are gonna get in here. I think both these movies have enough momentum to make this top 10. I think Past Lives is the one that out of these two that is the weakest. It's on the bubble, so to say, and that leaves us with one spot left. And we look at what movies are out here. Spider Verse has not been winning all the animated categories out there, so I don't see the odds for Across the Spider Verse. Naiad again, it got a lot of acting love at the Screen Actors Guild, but it's gotten no love elsewhere. Air hasn't really gotten much love overall either. Color Purple's gotten some love. It got best cast ensemble. I think this is really going to come down to Zone of Interest or Color Purple, and I'm going to be boring here. I think because the Zone of Interest and the Producers Guild got in the top 10, I think this movie's going to sneak in that 10th nomination, but do not be surprised if we see Color Purple knock out either Past Lives or the Zone of Interest next Tuesday for its nominations overall. But I'm gonna put Zone of Interest, and I'm even gonna make this my super bet because I'm pretty confident in these five. So I'm gonna save and go next. Next category, Best Director. Again, the lock here's are gonna be Christopher Nolan, Greta Gerwig, Yorgos Lanthimos, and Martin Scorsese. The question here is which one of these next groups are going to make it through? Is Jonathan Glazer going to make it for Zone of Interest? Is Alexander Payne going to get it for the holdovers? Will Celine Song or Bradley Cooper be a surprise? Justin Triet for Anatomy of a Fall? I actually don't think it's going to go to Jonathan Glazer. I don't think Zone of Interest has enough positive momentum to get this nomination through. I'm going to go with Alexander Payne in the holdovers. He was nominated for the Directors Guild in this five group. I think he's going to go home and he's going to take this fifth spot, and we're going to have this four-horse race for Best Director. Well, really, Christopher Nolan's going to be the lead category. I don't think anybody expects him to lose this, but I'm thinking Payne sneaks in here at number five. That is my prediction for Oscar nomination day. Next up, we have Best Actress, and this race is, I would say, two pronged at the front. Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone are your two favorites overall. I think there's a really good chance Carey Mulligan get in. I think Margot Robbie, she got in for the Screen Actors Guild. That makes me think that she'll get in here. And it really comes down to three people. It comes down to Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, which does have a lot of momentums in different areas. Greta Lee for Past Lives. I think she delivered a wonderful performance in Past Lives. Again, a movie that you're likely going to see nominated for Best Picture. And then Annette Bening for Naiad. And she was the one that got in over Hüller and Greta Lee at SAG. I don't know if I'm going to see her getting in here for the best actress. Maybe she'll knock off somebody like a Margot Robbie, but I don't think Barbie and Robbie has that much, momentum that gets stopped here. I don't know if Greta Lee delivers in a performance recently that I think will knock Sandra Hüller out. I'm worried because I think Sandra Hüller delivers a great performance, but I do think she gets in here. But don't be surprised if Sandra Hüller, coming from a foreign film, doesn't make this top five list, and we're left with some form of Annette Bening, Greta Lee, and out of nowhere Fantasia Barrino nomination with these four. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Robbie gets knocked out. I mean, Mulligan hasn't really gotten much attention. She's kind of snuck in there as like a lock, but I also wouldn't be shocked if she gets knocked out for Lee. But these are my five nomination predictions for Best Actress, a very loaded category that is a two-horse race at the front. Best Actor is going to be next. So Giamatti and Murphy are the two clear favorites. I would even say Giamatti is likely the favorite to win overall at this current moment. I do think you're going to see Bradley Cooper get nominated for Maestro. I actually put Coleman Domingo as a higher chance here of getting nominated than Jeffrey Wright or Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm going to go a little bold here. I'm going to go not Jeffrey Wright, not Leo. I'm going to go Andrew Scott here. I think Andrew Scott is due for one of these award surprises. And I think all of us strangers, I haven't seen it yet, but I just feel like he's due here. And this is my risky pick. I'm not going to go much more, but I think we're going to have a scenario where Andrew Scott and Coleman Domingo kind of sneak in here, knocking out two people who might be favorites, and Jeffrey Wright and Leonardo DiCaprio. I think Leo has a good chance of missing here over Coleman Domingo. I think Jeffrey Wright wouldn't be surprised if it's he comes in instead of Andrew Scott. But this is my wild card prediction for the major categories right now, in terms of what I think a lot of people are agreeing with and what I think might happen. Best Supporting Actress. Well, it's a one horse race. Who's going to win? Divine Joy Randolph is going to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, like she's been winning everywhere else. I think Danielle Brooks and Emily Blunt has been getting nominated everywhere else as well. Kind of coming in though to the end of the SAG Awards and stuff. Jodie Foster has popped in as that fourth type of contender, which really leads like a huge up in the air of who else is going to get nominated. Is it going to be Rosamund Pike for Saltburn? Saltburn didn't get any SAG nominations. She's gotten a lot of critic love in areas. Is America Ferrera going to get in for Barbie? Again, no SAG nominations, but a lot of critic love. I don't think Sandra Hüller is going to be a double nominee here. I think she'll be lucky if she gets Best Actress. I'm almost worried that because she's up for both, that they might not. People might split their votes and she might miss both. I don't think May December is going to get much love. It's gotten kind of ignored, so I don't see Julianne Moore getting in here. I actually think Penelope Cruz once again is going to find herself nominated for an Oscar with Ferrari. She got in at SAG. I think she's going to get in here. And then we're going to all love Divine Joy Randolph's speech, which will probably be the opening Oscar of the 2024 ceremony when she wins for Best Supporting Actress, because she's been knocking out the speeches and she's been the consensus winner, just like Hugh Kwan was the winner last year. And we're gonna save and go next. So supporting actor, SAG threw this through a roof. We know Robert Downey Jr. We know Gosling, and I even put in De Niro. I think these three are locks to get in here. I actually think Sterling K. Brown. I think American Fiction's having a lot of momentum. Other places that I think he's going to be the leader of that pack, of that momentum group, whereas Jeffrey Wright might not be. So I have Sterling K. Brown here. And do I go Defoe? Do I go Melton? Do I go Ruffalo? Defoe always finds a way, and this is going to be the same nominations as SAG, but he always finds a way to get nominated for Oscars and for SAG. Something about Hollywood and the Academy and the guilds love William Defoe. So I think they're going to get the same nominations as SAG. I don't think we're going to lose De Niro, Gosling, or Downey Jr. I think Sterling Kane Brown is going to sneak in for American Fiction. I think Defoe is going to take the spot for things because he got at SAG, and I think Ruffalo, sadly, who I think is a better performance, is going to miss out here and be snubbed. And Charles Melton isn't going to get nominated for BAFTA. He's not going to have the international support. He's not going to have the support of the Guild. He wasn't really nominated for SAG. I don't see a world where Charles Melton gets in. He's at 19-2 right now. That is way too high of odds for somebody. Don't buy into Charles Melton getting nominated for an Oscar. I'll be happy to eat my words on Tuesday if that's the case, but I think he has no shot here. I think it's between Defoe and Ruffalo getting in, and Brown. Those two of those three are going to get in, and that's where I think we're going to end up. But it looks like Downey Jr. is going to be the front runner, who's won most of the awards so far for supporting actor. And again, I'm gonna do super bit here because I'm confident on this one. All right, adapted screenplay. Big news here is Barbie got moved over, so I think Barbie is the leading contender. I think American Fiction is right behind it. These are the two ones that I think have the best chances of winning. I think Oppenheimer and Poor Things gets in here. And then the question's going to be Zone of Interest or Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm going to go a little bit of an upset here. I'm hoping Zone of Interest gets in. This is more of a passion pick. I think Killers of the Flower Moon is likely going to get in. It wouldn't. So I would be shocked if it doesn't fully. I mean, I know I'm predicting that it won't, but I know a lot of people in Hollywood love that movie. But I think um, there's a chance. There's a chance that Barbie might come in and cause this fifth spot to be an upset. And I think Killers could get knocked out. From what I hear, is a very, very good movie and a great screenplay for the Zone of Interest. So I don't know. I think a lot of people too with Killers of the Flower Moon get kind of upset with how white focused that movie was and how much it didn't really try to, it kind of neglected the indigenous people that it was that were the victims of everything going on. So I can see it maybe losing out on screenplay. It hasn't really won any screenplay noms. It's been nominated for a lot of stuff, but the Writers Guild hasn't given their nominations yet, so we won't know until after the Oscar noms what the Writers Guild is. So this is all going off pure instinct for me. Original screenplay. This is going to be interesting. I think The Holdovers, Anatomy of a Fall, and Past Lives are the three locks for original screenplay. Looking down here and what might steal it, I'm not seeing anything down here that can come out and surprise. That means I'm looking kind of up top here. I think Maestro's going to get in here. I don't see May December getting in. It hasn't been getting much love elsewhere. I'm going to go a little bit different. We're going to go Air. I think Air gets one nomination for the Oscars, and it's one of the bigger nominations it can get. I think it's going to be the luxury of Barbie moving away. I think Air is going to sneak in here and take this fifth spot. This will be kind of Amazon's one kind of big win with the nominations. I think it could also go to Saltburn too. But something about May December, I don't think it's going to get as much love as I think as everybody thought it might with all the different nominations we've seen other places. I think May December will get left off here. All right, best cinematography. This is an Oppenheimer award. I think Poor Things would be my second ranked movie, and then after that, I think you're gonna have Killers be nominated. It was a beautiful movie. Maestro, I see that here. And looking down here, I don't know if any of these other movies will surprise. I think Society of the Snow could surprise. It's a well shot movie. I think Zone of Interest though has a lot of momentum. I think when the BAFTAs come out, and we'll with that movie. Actually, I'm gonna talk myself out of it. I'm gonna give it the Saltburn. I think Saltburn peaked at the right time with Prime Video over Christmas. I think this has a chance to get best cinematography here. I wouldn't be surprised if a Barbie comes in out of nowhere or an El Condi. Um, but we'll go with these picks for cinematography. But it's really just an Oppenheimer award at this point. Best costume design. I think Barbie, Poor Things are right up there. I think The Color Purple and Wonka I would put next. And then I'm gonna be risky. I'm gonna go Napoleon here over Killers. I mean, I'm gonna take Wonka off. I'm gonna put Killers on. I think Napoleon being an artsy, movie, I think it's gonna get in. I hope I'll see Wonka, but I just talked myself out of it. I don't see Killers not being nominated as well, but we'll see. Best film editing. I think you're gonna see Oppenheimer. I think we're gonna see Poor Things and Barbie. I actually think we're going to see Anatomy of a Fall here surprise. I think this movie's picking up a lot of steams after the Golden Globe wins for screenplay and foreign film. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this movie. I think the editing's going to do very well here. And then as far as the holdovers and killers, again, the Academy I think is going to love Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't love it. That's why I'm struggling and taking it off so many stuff. But Prediction wise, I have to predict that Killers of the Flower Moon is gonna be here on. Let's just go like is gonna be doing a lot better than I give it credit for. But I think Anatomy's gonna sneak in here and knock the holdovers out. That's my wild prediction for best film editing. Hope it's true. If I hear Anatomy on Tuesday, you're gonna see a happy guy in the morning. So best makeup and hairstyling. This is a craft category where Barbie is not in. Golda is a movie that I've heard nothing but it's made for this category. I think the same thing's going to be said for Killers of the Flower Moon. I think this is another one that has great makeup work done. Obviously, Maestro and Poor Things. And it comes down to Society of the Snow and Oppenheimer. I'll lean Oppenheimer here as the weak fifth, but I could see Society of the Snow coming in here. But I think these are my five picks for the nominations here. I think Killers does a lot better makeup than people realize, and I think it's gonna get nominated. This is one of the categories I think it has a good chance of potentially winning. If it wasn't for Poor Things, I think I'd put Poor Things as the overall leader. I think Maestro does great work with makeup and stuff, but I don't know. That movie's gotten like this negative stigma over it. I think it's in desperate need of a lot of nominations to get people to watch it and give it a chance and maybe get people back on its side. I liked Maestro a lot. You can watch the Oscars and see where it ranked if it made my top 10 movie list of the year. And when I react to the Oscars, we'll see how these predictions go. When I eventually do predictions, you'll see which things I got right in the Oscars for my personal taste matched up with the Academy. Best production design. I'm gonna go Barbie here. I think Poor Things and Oppenheimer. And the real question is going to be what comes after this. I think Asteroid City has a chance of upsetting here. I think it had an outstanding production design. Clearly, for me, the best thing about that movie. And then I actually think Killers of the Flower Moon production design was pretty stellar too. I think The Color Purple might get blanked in the Oscars besides Danielle Brooks in a lot of categories. And I have that being blanked here. I think Asteroid City is going to take its spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Napoleon take it either, but again, I think Asteroid City. This is the one category where it might get in and actually have a chance at winning. I think if this gets nominated, I think it has a chance at competing against Poor Things and Barbie, but it has to get nominated first. Best score, another one that is just going to be Oppenheimer. I think you're going to see Zone of you get Spider Verse, you could get Poor Things. I think you have Killers, and then looking here, I've heard nothing but good things about the Zone of Interest score, so I'm going to go chalk here. I think these five are the five front runners. Don't be surprised if Zone gets substituted by like the Boy and the Heron, but I don't think Barbie's going to get in there. I don't think Elemental or Indiana Jones. I think John Williams had his last nomination last year. Maybe he'll get in, and I'll leave the John Williams spot. But these are the five that I think are pretty locked in for score. Okay, so what was I made for? And I'm just Ken. Are the big ones here? I think the color purple will get in. And I think Rustin will get in. The question is going to be: will they nominate the third Barbie one, or will they go with one of these other two? I'm gonna go American Symphony. I think American Symphony. I know nothing about these songs. I'm horrible with music, but this is just my gut on what I think will get nominated. I don't think Barbie will get all three songs, but it very well might. But these are the five that I'd pick. Best sound. I think Oppenheimer. I think again Ferrari. I think they're gonna nominate Barbie here. I do think they're gonna nominate Barbie. I think this is one where I think the zone of interest will miss. I think the zone of interest has a lot of positive momentum in some ways, but it's not winning best foreign film. And I think Barbie's going to sneak into this one and knock out the zone of interest for best sound. Which I hear, as somebody who hasn't watched the zone of interest yet, I cannot wait for this to hit theaters. I'm hoping it gets the best picture nom so I can see it in theaters quickly. Because usually once the movies become best picture noms, the studios rush them out into theaters. But I think it's just that won't have the momentum. I think best sound is a category that will be left, and I think Barbie will stick in there. But we'll see. Next up, visual effects. I think Godzilla minus one is a favorite in this category overall. I actually think they're gonna do Poor Things and The Creator, Guardians, and that leaves these movies over here: Society of the Snow, Across the Spider Verse. I think Across the Spider Verse deserves it. I worry though if the category will end up being pushed onto like a Napoleon, which I think is also very deserving with its visual effects. Society of the Snow had really good visual effects with the plane crash. Do I go chalk here? I'm gonna go chalk here. I want Spider Verse to be in here. This is again a passion one. I'm confident that it would be likely in here, but I really want it to be here. Again, I think Godzilla minus one. This is the one category that I think the whole community is pushing it for and really wants to see it not just make the nominations but win. I think it's gonna be coming out in black and white here soon in theaters. I love Godzilla minus one. Recommend people go and see it if they have a chance. It was a great movie. Not what you expect out of a monster movie. It was more than just that. Uh, and this will be the one category it's nominated for. Animated feature. So here I think you're gonna have The Boy and the Heron and Spider Verse. Those are your two locks. Looking else, what we see. I wish Suzume was higher up, but I think because they're gonna give one animated, foreign film it's gonna be The Boy and the Heron. I think Nimona, Netflix is gonna be able to push Nimona in. I think Elemental is gonna be the Disney push. And then when I'm looking down here, I'm just looking through. I don't know if I see anything else that would be. I'm worried that Wish is gonna get in. I'll give it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We'll go chalk here. We'll go chalky because I don't see Wish getting in. I see Elemental getting the one Disney one. If Wish gets in, I'll be upset because Suzume would deserve it more. Super Mario Brothers movie would deserve it more. So many of these other movies, Migration, uh, Magician's Elephant. The first Slam Dunk was an amazing movie. If that gets in, if you see First Slam Dunk come out of nowhere nominated, I will be floored. Even things like Lonely Castle and The Mirror that I saw were just better animated movies than Wish. But we'll see if Disney gets the two nominations. I hope they don't. Documentary. I think Michael J. Fox movie has a chance at winning. I think American Symphony and these ones I've heard about. And then I'll just do the Eternal Memory. We'll go a little bit cheese here. We'll miss out on Beyond Utopia. Best international film. So there's no Anatomy of a Fall here because French did not choose to make it that way. I think Zone of Interest, Society of the Snow are your locks. Those are the ones I've also seen. I think we'll give Foreign Leaves. I think the taste of things, these odds tell me that they're likely. But I think we're going to see $4 get in this category as well. I'm going to go long shot. We're going to go long shot and see if it gets double nominated with documentary feature and best international film. I haven't seen these shorts. I think everything left is going to be. We have shorts. We'll go like this. I don't know overall. We'll chalk up shorts. These are usually pretty like on the nose. And that is going to be my nominations for Oscars weekend. Tell me your big predictions. What are going to be your big surprise in the comments down below? Like and follow the channel because I'll be going over the Oscars and breaking things down all through the award season. And again, this comes out on Monday morning, the 22nd. I should be filming a live reaction to the Oscars in the morning on the 23rd for all the nominations that come through. So, likes the channel, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch that. You're going to see a lot of my reactions, see how much I got right and wrong, and then we can start talking about predictions for all of these categories as we move closer to the Oscars. Until then, check out my By the Numbers video that I just did about Blumhouse Pictures. That came out at the end of last week. I have reviews hopefully on my short channel for ISS as well as maybe Origin. I don't know if Origin hit theaters yet. I'll have to see if it made it there. And there was one other movie that was coming out this weekend besides ISS. I can't remember off the top of my head, but ISS is the one that I want to get in before I go to Vegas. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck with everybody in the Oscar prediction race, and let's see if we get some good surprises.